How do you lead couples that appear to both be turtles, like both stonewallers that don't want to talk? And if they do, if like one of them does say one small thing and then the other one's like, I'm never talking, you know?
Yeah, those are the hard, 2 tigers and 2 turtles, those are hard, really hard. And we worked with a couple, they'd been married for 8 years, they were 2 turtles, and they acted more like a business arrangement than it was a marriage. I think explaining what's stonewalling, what's happening, and explaining the biology of what's happening is, okay, no words come to mind. It's a coping skill. You want to run away from the situation, and just recognizing all of that is normal. But it's wanting them to become self-aware of the behavior and saying, you can, what we're really guilty of is unresolved problems. And unresolved problems are like a drop of resentment in a cup. And eventually that cup's going to get really full. So you can either address it or it won't. You can probably ignore problems for several years, but eventually that cup's going to get full and you're not going to make it. So I would talk through all of that. I would talk about how it becomes habitual. It is a coping skill that just becomes habitual. I would talk about the emotional safety, that how important that, literally, true story, when I saw these 4 behaviors, I knew criticism was bad, I knew defensiveness was bad, I knew contempt was bad. But when I saw shutting down was on that list, and it was just as damaging as the other 3, I was like, what? I'm the nice one. I don't say anything mean, I go away, like I'm easy to live with. Wrong. So explaining the damage of shutting down and then finding ways to come back. So having the weekly check-in, knowing that we're going to go for a walk at Saturday at noon and we're going to talk through this, that we're both prepared to come to this. And then we usually want the turtles to go first in the conversation, but you got 2, like who's going to bring it up, me or her, And I would lean towards the husband in that and saying, if they are believers, is like as the spiritual leader in your family, we would encourage you to open up the conversation. And you both have committed to emotional safety, and you're both committing to come back to the conversation within 24 hours. And you guys, this took, like if you were going to look at a graph of our 20 plus years of counseling, I went from 3 days, okay, now I'm down to 2, down to 24 hours. And then eventually in the moment. Like, it took a while for me to get there. And let them know that the more they practice this, it's like exercise. The more they work this muscle, the stronger it's going to get. And last but not least, get them to work on the small stuff. Let's say they moved a couch and got into a big argument. Work on stuff that seems so insignificant. Practice on those, because when the big stuff comes, because it's going to come, you've already built up this exercise knowing I have the confidence, knowing I can go into this conversation and we're going to actually feel closer afterwards. So those are the things I've learned as a stonewaller.
And being married to a stonewaller, to a turtle.
Really? Do you have to go there?
I would tell you the 2 things that have helped the most for us was Danielle coaching me on what she needed to feel emotionally safe. Because turtles are turtles and stonewallers because they don't feel their spouse is emotionally safe. And so her coaching me on what she specifically needed to feel emotionally safe from that list of 9 things, which was more than 9, because in each one of them in Thrive, there's more than 9. There's like 2 or 3 sometimes in each sentence. So there's her coaching that helped most. And the second was the weekly check-in, because it forces us to discuss things, right? So it was a proactive way of making sure it happened.